What's up, everyone? I'm Vaping Crazy or Shannon, whatever you want to call me. I really don't care. Just don't call me bad names, please. Don't call me bad names. Hey, I'm back. It's been 3 years, almost 3 whole years. So I wanted to make this video kind of explain where I've been, what I've been doing, and why I have not been doing vaping reviews. So here is the lowdown. I started vaping 3 years ago and I had not smoked. So I had been a non-smoker for about 5 years at the time, or maybe a little bit more. And I've always, since the time I quit smoking, I was like, if I could find a way to smoke and not kill myself, I would do it. I mean, I just loved smoking. So I was always looking for an alternative, I guess you could say. And, you know, I quit smoking, I gained a bunch of weight. I mean, I just wasn't happy, you know, I wanted to do something. So I picked up vaping. So I vaped for about 3 months or so. Now, I was loving it. I mean, however, I always had an intolerance to PG. And back then, VG wasn't as popular as it is now because of the technology. It was just really hard to use high VG juices because they didn't wick properly, things like that. So you always had a lot of PG in your juice. So I was always vaping on something like 70% PG, 30% VG, or, you know, at the most maybe 50-50, 50 PG, 50 VG. And, you know, I had an intolerance to PG, so I always had, you know, a tightness in my throat. I could feel a tightness in my lungs. You know, for me, going from a non-smoking to vaping, you know, I could just feel it. It was like, man, something's just not right. And turns out I have a PG allergy. I don't want to say I'm completely allergic to it because I can tolerate small amounts of PG. Even using like Mayo little drops, that flavor water, that has a lot of PG in it, I could feel it in my throat. Well, what happened was one night I was vaping. We were, you know, at a get together, a housewarming party for my sister-in-law. You know, I was vaping like crazy, you know, being me, vaping crazy, baby. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't breathe. Like straight on, like asthma attack. I couldn't catch my breath, scared the living daylights out of me. You know, pretty much almost ended up in the hospital. I couldn't, it took about 30 minutes. I couldn't breathe. My wife's like, I'm calling 911, I'm calling 911. I'm like, don't call 911. I went in the bathroom, you know, steamed up the room. You know, I was just trying to catch my breath and couldn't. I mean, it scared the daylights out of me, and I'm like, that's it. I'm not vaping anymore. I love it, but I'm not doing it anymore. And I set them down for almost 3 years. However, it wasn't because, you know, vaping is bad for me or whatever. It was because, you know, I have a intolerance towards PG, and all that PG, what it does is it tightens me up, it closes me up, and that's what it did. It just tightened up my lungs, and I couldn't really breathe. So, took a 3-year break, started looking back into it again because, you know, life, I didn't go back to smoking. Like, I just quit everything. I was a non-smoker, non-vapor, all that good stuff. And then for the next 3 years, I always thought about it. I was like, man, I want to vape. I want to vape. I miss vaping. And I started watching some more videos and started seeing the technology, like, what is going on, and I'm like, oh man, this is great. So now I have an E-Leaf iStick 50 watt, just came out with the Kangaroo Sub-Tank Mini. Watch it. Oh, it's amazing. Oh. So if you weren't vaping 3 years ago with the technology when we were using clearomizers, you know, that were wicking from the top, you know, burnt hit after burnt hit, you know, the best thing we had was, you know, variable voltage spinners and things like that. You know, started looking at the videos, started seeing the increased technology, and started to notice, hey, you know, I could probably use, you know, max VG juices now, you know, take the PG pretty much all the way out. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try it because I miss it. And man, I just loved it. The nicotine is the great equalizer for me. I struggle with with my whole life. I've struggled with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, things like that. And I'm ADD and, you know, borderline OCD like crazy. So nicotine has always helped me. That's why I love smoking. And you know, you can say whatever you want about that. I really don't care. I know when I vaped, when I smoked, my mind was calmer. You know, I could focus more, and I was happier. To be completely honest, I was happier. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to get back into vaping. See, I'm going to go with the high VG juice and see what happens. And I went and got a max VG. You know, I started saying, hey, do you got 100% VG? And everyone's like, no, we don't have 100%, we have max VG. You know, I had to start learning the technology. And I'll never forget it, I went into the first vape shop. Because back when I was vaping too, vape shops were few and far in between. You know, I had to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get to a vape shop. Now there's 4 in my hometown. So I go into the shop and I'm like, yeah, you know, I brought my Ego Twist. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm good. I got a Twist. You know, hit me up with like a 510 atomizer. You know, I'll drip it right in there. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm like, yeah, you know, hook me up with like a Bogue Cardo or something, you know, 100% VGs, see how this works. They're like, dude, let me explain something to you. That's not how this stuff works anymore. So what I did was I started out with a Kanger Pro Tank. Kanger Pro Tank, max VG, and it worked. It worked. You know, I still suffered with the dry hits, had to be very careful. You know, I could take a hit, you know, prime it a little bit, give it a couple toes, you know, swash it around. Still struggle with the dry hits, things like that. But the guy was like, listen, man, you need to step up your game, bro. You need to step up your game. Go with get a box mod, an unregulated mod. So when I quit vaping, mods were just becoming popular. And, you know, they were the mechanical mods. You know, one stick with 18650 in there. You know, that's about where the technology was when I quit vaping. And he's like, you know, put a dripper on there, you can go max VG and it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna take the cake, bro. So I thought about it for a while, vaped on the sub tank, the Kanger sub tank, or not sub tank, the Kanger Pro Tank for about a month. Yeah, month and a half. And then said, you know what, I'm gonna take the fall, I'm gonna go, and I thought about going regulated first, but the guys at the vape shop, they're, you know, cloud chasers. They're like, no, bro, no, you need to go with the box mod, super sub-ohm builds. I mean, it's awesome. So I ended up going with the box mod, and at the time, I wasn't a big lung inhaler. Like, I like to do a mouth to lung inhale. So I got the Magma. That's the Magma clone RDA. And I loved it. You know, I started dripping, and I was like, oh, this is great. And I haven't had any problems. You know, I just stay 75 VG or above. You know, max VG if I can, 75 or above, and I'm good. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. So I'm back. But before I started making videos, I wanted to make sure I was back because I didn't want to, you know, make videos and then leave again. So, but I'm back now. I'm good to go. This has, what does this have? This has a .26 dual parallel coil build on it. A .26 dual parallel coil build. I didn't build this. Guy at the shop built this. I'm not that good at building coils yet. I'm learning. Not that great at it. So let's hit this. This thing hits pretty good. Do I got enough juice on there? Yeah. This is a 80-20. Yeah, 80-20 Mount Baker Vapor Vape the Rainbow, or whatever they call it. So let's hit this. You know, and it's good. I love it. The problem I had with this was about halfway through the day, I was like, I don't love it anymore. I never went with this low of ohm. I just did this so that I could test it out on this, because this goes down to 0.2 ohms, and I wanted to test it out, so I had him build me an ohm. For me, this is super low ohm. I like my coils, I like to be in between 0.5 and 0.8 ohm. That's where I like to be. That's where I feel comfortable. So I'm back, you know. I'm going to be doing reviews. If you're just watching this for the first time, you're like, what the heck? Who are you? My name's Vaping Crazy, Shannon, whatever you want to call me. I got a girl's name, I know. My parents wanted to torture me. Luckily, I'm 6'5", 270 pounds. So come at me, bro. I'm just, I kid. But yeah, I'm back. I just finished up a video for the sub tank. Gonna do a video on the iStick 50 watt. Got juice reviews. You know, if you're a shop out there, if you're a manufacturer, you want me to do some reviews for you, send me my stuff. You know, contact me. I'll give you the address, send me your stuff. I'll do some reviews for you. I own a production company, so everything I do is gonna be high quality. Good stuff. You know what I mean? But man, I'm back to vaping and I love it. The flavor, the vapor, I mean, just the entire experience from where it was when I stopped to where it is now is just, it's mind-blowing. It's awesome. I don't know why, and everyone I see now that smokes, I'm like, you're crazy, man. Why would you smoke when you could have something like this? Oh. I mean, it tastes good. It doesn't smell. There's not, you know, all the carcinogens and everything else in here. Ugh, it's great. Why would you smoke? Stop it. Stop it. But I would say, if you're gonna start, skip this stuff. You know, skip the spinner. Go right to something like this. In my opinion. In my opinion. You know, everything's subjective. But you can't go wrong. I mean, and the experience, for me, is better than smoking. I mean, I love it. Different flavors. Right now, this is Admiral Crunch Berry. I also have Rainbow Roundies. Tastes like Skittles. I mean, oh, it's great. I've also lost 15 pounds. Another reason why I wanted to start vaping, because I got fat. So, I'm back. Smash that subscribe button. Keep on coming back, because we're going to keep on vaping like crazy, baby, and bringing you videos, letting you know what's good, what's bad, and what I like and what I don't like. So until next time, keep vaping like crazy.